Aldenicum is a fictitious word that obviously stands for the Apocrypha meaning. At the same time, it's a long-form fantastic poem, which is meant to give the reader a picture of reality from rather different and alternative points of view. Aldenicum poem consists of 3 parts called Genesis, Inferno, and Eitsehore Eggs respectively, composed in the English language. Due to its internationality, the poem is supposed to be comprehensible for everyone from all over the globe. Aldenicum, Part 3, Eitsehore Eggs. At this point of stage, our long epic has finally reached the next and last chapter of its revelation by giving us some pieces of truth about Genesis, the structure of purgatory layers and human nature. This time, it takes a slight effort to unveil a new portion of knowledge primarily concerning those who are known to be rulers on this planet, whether they initially belong to this world or do not. Men are blind, while they are living their lives as slaves, in the mode of continuous sleeping. Not even realizing this fact, there are great amounts of highly intelligent and advanced creatures, using them for their hidden aims and intentions, as food and an almost infinite source of vital energy, by integrating into human societies under the cover of human skins, or watching over us from above. Those wearing a humanoid appearance are said to be surrogate ones, whose primary targets are either to shepherd this worldwide herd of 2-legged sheep by cutting their hair on a regular basis, or even to replace people on Earth by providing this world with their own hidden interventionist teams, like avatar beings, who are hybrids resulting from ordinary humans and their actual species. There are some sorts of non-human life forms, wishing to keep the planet under their own strict control, since this layer proves to be much richer in comparison to those that some of them originate from. It is the solid ground populated with rather narrow-minded people, which makes it easy to do, the reason being that human minds are kept blocked by means of those so-called mental filters and hypnosis. Since the ancient times until modern ones, there have been camouflaged hybrid forms brought to life through acts of crossbreeding between most aggressive cavemen and some alien races of intellectual reptiles. On an energy level, the foreign, sophisticated reptilians inserted their special genetic code into that of humans. In addition, such hybrids received various privileges related to that obsessive faith of being chosen by their gods. So they started deceiving others into believing in what was needed for capturing foreign territories, converting natural men into their own slaves, acting like true viruses or parasites, spreading internationally. By lending money at interest to others, such half-bloods made them firstly fooled and later thieved. The peoples must be divided to be at conflicts with one another, as it had been exactly instructed in their holy books. Whenever wars occur among different nations on Earth, the hybrids always stand behind them on all sides. By choosing a method of supporting all of them, they never lose the game, regardless of its end. However, when warfare is over, a significant part of valuables previously belonging to war participants disappears from the stage. Only few can realize the valuables have actually been stolen by war initiators. Their aim is to conquer the globe by owning each piece of it by all means, such that they will stop at nothing to make their devilish plans come true, since the creation of the first hybrid forms until the present moment. Untold cruelties, unmeasured greed, with endless deceit, are their power to be used against others. It is because they are no longer human, but reptilians, inhabiting under covers of humanity. Preferring to avoid all sorts of physical labor, their beloved way of spending time is as managers. Teaching, writing, entertaining, and trading with illegal methods and tricks are also their privileges. Having put under control institutions of spreading news and propaganda all over this global world, such hybrids came to pervert it all by telling as many lies in someone's ear as can be heard and believed. The hybrids who rule people after receiving the power are said to be either latent homosexual, often mixed with psychological deviations, or at times appearing with even physically visible deformity. Facts are secretly kept, so that, if one keeps searching for the truth, it may cost him his life, or at least, he will be outlawed by authorities, isolated from all facilities, claimed as racist, or simply killed. This happened due to certain assumptions, resulting in those several races of extraterrestrial reptiles having been crossbred with men by changing their genes. Such races also changed human attitude concerning sex behavior. This is because the reptilians are believed to be hermaphrodites by nature, as well as their matrix cannot perfectly fit that of humans, so this is the source of various deviations. There are also creatures actually inhabiting another layer, dreaming of conquering ours, however, never having initially belonged to this world, as their fate is to keep living deep underground. Their own space is much poorer in comparison to ours, but having seen the Earth through our eyes, they must have decided to take it over by sending here their own half-blood and surrogate agents. Possessing a very high intelligence, their senses of kindness and humanity are not developed at all. Their sense of mercy is also almost close to none. Humans cannot prevent them from invading. So, ordinary women began to give birth to strange children, hard in communication, brilliant in mind. None really knows how to treat them, wrongly considering these children a new generation of humanity. Such an assumption has some sense, however, as men are slowly being changed by influence of that underworld race, which set its eye on our planet. Thus the children are simply their own avatars, brought to the light of existence by means of experiments on the human genome performed by them. As a result, the avatar children's mission is to take over this layer, by replacing us slowly in the upcoming years. Unfortunately, the absolute majority of humans is still unaware of that hidden menace, resulting from such strange kids, whose aura colors are definitely different from those of ordinary pure people. Numerous hypotheses from which articles were written were developed, issuing them as a phenomenon. Some consider the children to be our future saviors, however, nothing could be further from the truth. It should be said, there are two main groups fighting for Earth, the hybrids and the genius children. Different races are known to stay behind them. These are the reptilians with the underworld nation. Having nearly an equal amount of power and intelligence, both of them have achieved an agreement, resulting in dividing the land and sphere of influence. They use humans with all possible methods. It would not be a full story if we had not mentioned a third group seeking its own interests on this ground. Unlike the two previous ones, this is the most sophisticated creature, capable of living everywhere. Looking like a distributed network, it is said to be charged with the duty of controlling the layer and everyone on it. True, immortal, with unmeasured capabilities, the network exists partly by virtue of enslaved mankind. There had been several natural catastrophes and disasters brought to life almost on a regular basis, in order for the above layers to hold this one in fear, as well as under the control of global lies and illusions. The cataclysms have already happened on Earth 4 times, resulting in mass extinctions of human beings. As a rule, only few were lucky enough to survive to create new generations of people. There is some sacramental knowledge of ancient civilizations, living a long time before the modern age of humanity, thought to be kept secret over thousands of years, perfectly stored in different parts of the globe. Preserved for future generations, such data is said to contain certain wonders ordinary people have not seen yet. The hybrids with the demonic nation try to gain this knowledge, however, the network does not let it happen. Even the greatest and best chosen scientists, who have ever written their names down in the book of history, proved actual avatars pretending to be humans, or people, whom those shadowy powers initiated. Nevertheless, when independent explorers do achieve such a level of understanding or discovery, undesired by the network and the other big players, they usually pass away unexpectedly. Thinking men should realize the fact that numerous historical events ever heard, popularized opinions and explanations ever brought to the mainstream from official points of view, have been incorrect or been fabricated and replaced by the rulers, who are no longer true humans, with new versions and visions that are so necessary for them, according to their own perspectives. Thus, don't trust anyone, unless the matter of your trust agrees with your own inner common sense. It's your heart that already knows if something is true or a lie, even if your mind has yet to be opened. written for the reader, as a long-form poem or revelation. Aldenicum is said to be a fantastic story. Each will find, however, only as much truth in it as his personal comprehension allows him to understand. This is the end of the third part of Aldenicum. It's being read by Amy Rosenberg.